Back in the day, you could go on Facebook, you can go on Instagram, you can go on Craigslist, and you can say, hey, I'm a photographer, I'm looking for a model. Do you want to play and shoot? And yes, of course, there's creepy photographers. Yes, there's weird models. But usually I could always fill my creative niche with people that were willing to show up, work, put the effort in. And I don't want to sound jaded, but like as I've built my career, I've been able to do more professional work, more commercial work, and I haven't been able to play creatively as often. And so this last year for 2020, yes, it was COVID, even 2019, actually, now I'm thinking about it, I wanted to be more creative. And the only thing that stopped me was not finding models, but getting models to actually show up and work. And I want to talk about that right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Jeramie with Jeramie Photography. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, if you're new, consider subscribing. Video helps you anyway, give it a thumbs up and then click that bell for notifications. It'll tell you every time I come on. I want to preface this video by saying there's so many amazing models out there. So many amazing, people. Like, you know, I don't want to say models because maybe they don't consider themselves models. Maybe they consider themselves people that stand in front of a camera that do well at what they do. And I've worked with so many of them. These are from more of the ones that are no call, no showing me, that are flaking on me 2 days before, that are coming unprepared where we have to reschedule. And if I mention those things and those hit you hard, then it's probably you and you have an issue. But we can be blunt about that, guys. My time is the most valuable thing that I have. And for somebody to take my time away, take any time away from me and my family, irritates me and bugs the crap out of me because I invest my time into them before I even meet them. So what this video is about is the video is about why you should be hiring models instead of trying to book free models. So in our industry, photographers that are learning and growing, there's also models that are learning and growing, and a lot of people don't want to spend money for either, right? So these models are not going to spend money for a photographer to come and shoot them, and photographers for some reason won't spend money to hire a model, whether it's $50, $100 an hour to do a shoot with them. And that was my mistake for 2019 and 2020 because really, for my personal creative work, maybe it's something where I'm throwing milk on somebody, paint, we're doing dances, we're throwing feathers around, we're just doing something creative where it doesn't really go anywhere. It's just building your commercial port where it goes on my website or just shows people that I'm trying and testing new things. So in my mind, it was always like, well, I'm not getting paid for it, so why don't I find somebody? We don't have to pay each other. I'll share images with them. They can post and use the images how they want. I can use the images how I want, and so forth, and that's how it works. And it worked out well for a while, and really I was getting people that maybe weren't in the modeling world that were pretty, beautiful faces or a structural face that I needed. And as my career developed, as I got to a point where like I don't need that anymore, I started reaching out and kind of doing posts on like social media groups and stuff saying, hey, I have these concepts, I want to do this shoot, who's available? And it was always people like, hey, I'm available, I'm great, or people will get tagged in. We'd communicate via social media, I'd book them, I'd send them a contract, I'd kind of do everything that I do normally. Contract's a whole different thing. People that don't pay for things regularly or models sometimes get irritated. They send a contract out. For me, it's more of a meeting of the minds. This is what I get, this is what you get, this is what I'm expected of you, this is what you're expecting of me. And, but 2020, guys, 2020, this is even pre-COVID to 2019. I don't consider anything after that to be relevant because of obviously COVID. I had so many no call, no shows. I had so many just day before, oh, Jeramie, I'm so sorry, I'm not gonna be able to go, something came up. I even got a couple, like my boyfriend doesn't want me to shoot another guy when it's not, I don't do boudoir shoots, when it's just a regular portrait shoot or regular like, hey, you're gonna be wearing plastic or it's a black and white Levi's type shoot, something like that, right? And so I got all these weird things and it started just to get me irritated. Well, I'm in the mindset right now of a client who has booked me and they need to see some test shots. And I do a lot of test shots. And what test shots are, it's basically where the photographer goes on their own and creates the imagery to showcase, to share with the commercial client, saying, hey, this is what we should do, this is what we can do, right? Think of it as like a prep or a test shoot. And a lot of times we don't have these in our ports, so we will create it. So I went on social media again the other day. I went onto a group that I created and said, hey, I have these images that my client sent me. So my client sent me some images that they liked. I need to create something within this world. Is anybody interested in doing a trade to shoot with me? Got contacted by a couple people and said, yeah, let's do this. You know, hey, I'm Jeramie Lou Photography. Here's my website. You'll get images, you'll get whatever. And then Chip ghosts. So I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I'm done with the unprofessionalism. I'm done with the donating my creative time to their time, and they don't see that as valuable, so they don't show up to the shoot. And it's just annoying, and it's insane. And of course, it's my general area, and I'm bummed to say that about Reno. But guys, like, for me to even ask somebody to work with me is kind of a big thing, because I'm an introvert by nature, and it's hard for me to do that. But then I start thinking about that person. I start sending them images. I start working it out. So first off, stop wasting my time. Secondly, the real point, 5 minutes into this video, I then contacted Justine, who owns Take Two. Is it Take Two? I think it's just Take Two, right? Ooh, sorry, Justine. Obviously, I know my daughter goes there for, you know, voice and all that. But she runs a modeling agency, an acting agency, a talent agency, if you will, here in Reno. And, you know, I told her candidly, I've never actually done this before, because it's always kind of been, you know, I've just settled with the people that I've got. And when I say that, I don't really settle. It's like I put it out there, I get a group of people within who sees that post. I don't ever get to just go onto a website and start choosing aspects and ratios. But the person that I choose, if I've worked with you in the past, I love you, you're amazing. It's not about that at all. But she sent me a list. She sent me, you know, pictures of people who, this is what are you going for? What's the style? And I decided from now on, this is a route that I'm going, guys. I'm paying $100 an hour for a model to come who not only has the experience of modeling, who can self-wardrobe or self-style themselves, but who comes in professional, who gets to make some money. And I don't have to worry about how the images are distributed. Yes, I can give them images if I want, or I don't have to. I can do the work, I can edit it myself. I don't have somebody coming and saying, oh, I like this, but I really wish you would edit it that way, you know, quote, quote, the model. There's been shoots where I'll send an edit out, and then all of a sudden they'll get tweaks on how to edit and change it. And I'm like, that's not what I do. You're hiring me for my work. I'm very easy to work with. I don't tell models what to do with their body. You know, we go through poses, they bring what they bring within a guideline of what we set for the shoot, the style, and we go from there. And so right now, as a professional photographer, I'm at that point where I'm just going to be hiring models. And when I hire models, I get to dictate and say what I'm creating. And I'm not talking about body types. I'm not talking about looks. I'm not talking about personality at this point. I'm talking about if I have a shoot that needs a particular look, I get to find that look and I get to pay for it. If you are a photographer watching this, especially in the Reno, Carson, Tahoe area, I highly recommend you guys follow my route. I highly recommend you put value into your work by hiring professional models to be in your shoes. Not only will it elevate you as a photographer, where you can just focus on your gear, shooting, and less of posing the person, but it also puts value on these models who are actually doing this professionally. Stop just going and asking anybody that has a pretty smile and a pretty face to be in your photos creating mediocre images. That's not what they do, and it takes away professionally. That's the same thing as anybody with a camera can be a photographer, and you know you hate when people say that. I'm sorry if this triggers people. I'm happy to talk about it in the comments. You can get mad at me if you want, but we all know it's true. And we know this is true because we see these models come out and they'll shoot for a year and all of a sudden never see them ever again. There's no value into it. And the most annoying part is every once in a while, I'll get a model that I shot 8 years ago, 9 years ago, send me an email saying, hey, Jeramie, I'm up to doing this now. I noticed that my image is on your website or on your Facebook or somewhere that I Googled it and I found your image somewhere. I need you to remove it because I can't tell people that I was a model in the past. And all of a sudden the work that I did is gone. And it's stuff like that that I'm a nice guy, I'll take it off, but it's annoying. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Why is this so bright? Why is this so bright? Hope you guys are doing well. I'll just talk to you next time. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.